Sunday night, about 2 o'clock. I was here, having a go through. Now, Miss Anavon me looking. Now, all Katavo, our side here, lightning all Kata. Now, me looking here, all below I could come inside finish. Now, all man sleep inside train here. Below I come finish, now you make up. That's a lot of out. I was here, all ban same finish now, stop. No, come cooking house now. At Lomi plus cave. You stop. Now, planty, only die. Me eat. Me put my blanket, light for me. Me karma me stop. Now, me son of stop now. Blanket and fire now. And cooking me now. Me stop. Live lo me and go finish. Me go away. Me stop away. Me the thing is la. Live me go finish.
This is not one, this is not two, this is talking about 34 human lives. And it is not only men, but it includes women and children. And they actually said that it was a bomb. We see that it is a hand grenade.
This is a Morrison or a still man in Hamabona or a dishore me blood night. Big night. Planting land in the Lord Slab, Magiatu and Fire Lord Slab. And crossing Paya in his head. That's all them his mother is in a placket and I'm a cramab about to step. You got us original placket and a matter is to Paya kissing. I'm legally imagine a cottage I remember to my go her side. Okay, Miss Libluya, that's all Mikira become Miss Anap, gun or more same. Put him totally here. Now, or big Morsena, sorry, meeting Miss Living Type in Slovenia, meeting him son, meeting him Morseman or a toast. Me look him like mouse blow 5 years or a toast year. Oh, sorry, God. Me go in Zello Broya. Me took the same time. Tosia, iko dano katenia, iko same. Okay, me should be made lo here. Me go same, me funda. Me go same, me go down lo katen blow me. Me got. Now me go stable up, figuring blow me or shooting. And that's all, me make him. Yeah. Tu pura mama beginning ya inta lo here, I am stable here. Me RM this la vada blogan me kira.
Kiliman, Kilimpik, Kagaru, Kadim Panona, Kadim Diwai, Lebron Barret, Kilina Bogada, come up disaster come up. You know, one lesson by Lucy. Destroy me with the 1.5 village of Friday and several come up also. It's a big blood, something good camp around Syrian people there.
We call it tribal fight, but for me it's like small-scale war. It has the same damage to the area as any war in any other countries.
They bend the house, the first thing, and then the second thing, they chop all the trees, the bananas, the food gardens, the cash crop plants like coffee, bananas, everything. They destroy water supplies, even they bend down schools, they bend down churches, even the clinics. When they engage in battle and they're shooting gunshots and people dying, they aim for total destruction. Anything that they can destroy. Total destruction is their aim.
Obviously, there's a big loss of life, There's a lot of properties that are damaged. There's displacement of hundreds to thousands of people from the villages that are at conflict or the tribes that are at conflict. It has a major impact on communities up in the islands. I think one of the big factors in modern day PNG is there is a push for access to more resources, especially up in the highlands where the bulk of PNG's 8 million people live. When you have millions of Papua New Guineans living in one part of PNG, having less access to land, less access to agricultural land, less access to water, these are triggers for conflict.
People would resort to tribal fighting as a way of ending a conflict or grievance between individuals or between groups. And usually after fighting, people will resort to establishing some kind of peace. The common expression is you pay compensation. Compensation is a ceremony. It's a way of exchanging things just to reestablish the good relationship. After peace, like it's 2-3 year peace, a fight flares up, it goes back again. So if you observe the whole event, the social activity of this community for about 20 years, 2 decades or 3, you will find that it can be interpreted as a cycle. People just go around, peace, war, peace, war, peace, war.
So the scenario now is, when conflict happens, there's no time for communication. There's no talking at all. Conflict happens, extreme violence, confrontation. Yeah? And when you think that violence is over, it prolongs. When you have a break in violence, it's because people are waiting for arms supplies, reinforcement, money, someone to recover, something is happening. Then when the opportunity comes, they're striking again. Somebody's getting murdered here, there, must be everywhere. Yeah? So really there's that cycle of violence that keeps on going.
When we have bows and arrows, only one dead and then compensation finish. Now, 10, 15, whole tribe nearly down now. And we are losing this generation of young people now in the tribal conflict, just shooting them. Now they are shooting pastors. Before, they fear shooting the pastors because they preach the word of God. Now they don't care, they shoot pastors. Through the past 15 years, I am seeing influx of gun is very serious. And if we continue this phase, I think our society will be not the same. We're seriously saying that.
The use of guns for tribal fighting, for custom work, for intimidation in the highlands is prevalent. In fact, it's out of control. It's a serious concern because that's where 80% of the population of Papua New Guinea live in the highlands. We know for a fact that every tribal fight, guns are used. Every roadblock, guns are used. Every murder, guns are used. And we know that during elections, guns are used to intimidate, to harass, or even to murder opposing people. And we are very, very concerned.
Before, always have used bunara. Sudim gokam so planning manu savenda because I'm using lo bunara na spear. And now white man come here. Only got him machine gun, sword gun, pistol, bush knife. Lagamna molkara papaya. I'm not going through me blowing pin savel hella. And first time come this last Santiri because this is a factory. You mean no hella. Machine gun only come 1.5 million. So all the time this car him come.
Time mi prepared na golong go stop on busiu go stop on one location hub em no what you em mi pres no what na mi lo happy Asik tu no kuat. Olman meri lem sapolo medicine o sabendai. No sugu tu or no sab golo sugu. Because na alban birua bai sabo rodia. One can also now rotation and appear.
Miblo gol hap all bakili miblo. All come here and pigin meri man miblo bon na kantin tu. Miblo bol killing taso. Crossing blo stop him. Stop yet. Miblo sa buy gun blo fight blo ground pig na meri. Before tumbuno blo power blo miblo tu. So
Ino isum gun time. Only bunara stop time.
So tumbuno blo power blo miblo stop time. Ono sa megi. So now power blo mibla na mibla grow now mibla yet stop here. One block kill him. Ino mibla bad. Also na now mibla kill him meri na pigini. Kill him na dina me also pig dog na.
Women and children are very badly affected. They're not involved in these sort of fightings. It's not of their doing, but they have been unnecessarily go through a lot of unnecessary pressures and a lot of problems. They've been made to run and go to live in other places where they're not even used to. Children, they miss out on education, they miss out on good food, good rest in houses. And women are put under a lot of pressure because they have to take care of the kids. Because the men are fighting, they have to feed the kids somehow. Whichever way they find food, they have to find it. They have to clothe, they have to take care of the little babies. And they've been put under a lot of stress.
Sambla time, mibla panim kago step, all man sabegam na kilimol sambla meri, sambla man mibla sabelusim kago, bilum mibla saberon oigon ambad lambus. Mibla sabe fred ngutru, mibla sabe fred osem all by man by kilim mibla. All plandi meri, all saberabim, all sabe kilim. All sabe kisim sambla meri golo plus blood too. Mibla sabe me, all sabe me gimosa. Time fighting stuff, and plus sabe stuff good na. All man married stuff good. Tas all hunger sabe kamab na. Money too no sabe stuff na. Mibla sabe lose lo hunger tas. All something, all blanket na, all sambla something, all with something. Mibla lose mibla no god na. Mibla sabe stuff poor.
It's very hard in here. People live with fear when there's a fighting. When there's a fighting, sexual violence, rape increases. Because enemies are attacking the women when they go back to the garden to look for food. When they go there, the enemies come and attack them, hold them, kidnap them, and rape them. Because enemies, they don't care. So they will still, no matter you a woman or you a small girl or you a mother, they will still attack you.
Ko kana rong mun lenga ka prung ko kumpun ko kana prung timina kana rong ko na le ku a pem mo kan ro kon rong kambe le pendo ko rong repe tan ko kambe le rong ko ambo bo en kan ro kon rong ko e po ko le wampo po ko ro ba mi ni.
In the hospital here we see every day victims of tribal fights, and a bit depending on the days, sometimes it's just small cuts, and other days people are being chopped to death, that they actually already arrived death in the hospital, or sometimes nearly death and they more or less die on the spot, and sometimes still savable, and then we can actually make a difference. We had about a month ago 2 children, one 7, the other 5, and they were just both shot because that's going to be the enemies of the upcoming 10 years. So it seems to involve everyone. We have nurses in the hospital who have nothing to do with the tribal fight, but because they live in the middle, their houses are being burned down. So I think it involves the whole society and all the people from young until old.
When you have tribal warfare in a province or in a certain town, you will most likely not have a functioning education system and a functioning health system. So it has always, tribal warfare has also had an effect on delivery of basic government services. There are places where there are no functioning hospitals and schools simply because people are always fighting each other.
These facilities under the Imbungupa LLG, it saves 8,000 to 9,000 total population. We provide services like minor surgery, admissions, we do outpatients, we do mobile clinics, deliveries, and a lot of services we provided here. This facility has been closed for some time after the fighting. What happened was that during the fighting, the opponent side, they came in directly and they destroyed all the facility here, the buildings, the equipments, the medicines that we have, even the officer, the Chajim, so is out. So we can't even, as an advisor, I can't even help. A lot has been damaged. I don't have money to even rebuild or put a structure again, do maintenance and all this. So it's helpless now. You see the road condition is very, very terrible for the cars to travel in, buses. So no choice. They need to take a walk, either by bush trekking or along the road.
In my area, we were warned not to treat the other casualty of both parties, because if we do, they'll come after us. If we treat the other side, then those ones will come again and they will question us, why did you help him? Or why did you help her? Or so on. Because they want the other enemy to die. The lives of the health workers working out there, we are in a risk, but I'm not sure whether this will continue or this will end.
We see in this area large displacement, destruction of property, private property. People are losing access to the healthcare. Children are losing access to the schools. They bring, when they flee, they normally been hosted by the relatives or neighbors, and this brings additional problems to the host families also.
Tubla Papa na Mama one time, Lily brother all sleep in his land. Na mi bla tetin bla kamantap gen. Na mi bla sleep los laus. All cookie mouse time mi bla kamantap na kam kusap loi. Mi bla planti line sleep so mouse bla peak. Mi bla kam sleep. Mi bla na feel alright asa. Travel in no go down. Osem na. Mi bla just kusap na sleep. Mi bla like tintilo make something I'm at. Mi bla stop tas.
It is unfortunate that a lot of the tribes in modern-day PNG do not see, the land court, for example, or even the court system, as an avenue in which they can be able to address some of their grievances over land custody.
People don't know where to raise their complaints. They go through the mediation, and when they go through mediation, the village level, people take sides, and where people are not happy with the outcome of the mediation, they start taking actions, and that's how it starts off.
If we continue to live like that for the next 5-10 years, we will hear that one clan will wipe another clan with arms, and that will happen.
Only we have good law and order system in place in Hela, and then I think the fighting will stop. If we don't have a law and order system in place in Hela, I think then it will, because now people don't listen to the police. Police, they are saying, you have gun, I have gun. Who are you?
Possession of firearms is widespread. It's quite difficult to deal with it. And it needs an extended sort of operation to retrieve firearms, meaning you have to have enough resources to cover the whole area. We realize that if there is a conflict and the police does not deal with it, then obviously the person, the victim, tries to retaliate. And that's where conflicts escalate, because the families get involved and eventually the entire tribes gets involved. And so I think the best thing is to have police supported. If the government does support them well, I don't think it will escalate to an extent that will claim lives and cause such massive unwanted destruction.
We provide assistance to the direct victims, meaning that we distribute essential household kits to the affected families. We try to respond as soon as possible because we know that the most difficult period is right after displacements. Then we try to rehabilitate the healthcare facilities that have been damaged during the tribal fight. And we also support National Society, PNG Red Cross National Society, by providing technical support, trainings, and also sometimes funds when they respond to the tribal fights. And we do also rehabilitation of infrastructure, damaged infrastructure during tribal fight, like water supply, sanitation. We also have a very useful tool called the drama show, which is performed by the professional actors. They imitate the situation which provokes the conflict. They do it in front of a big audience, sometimes we do it at the marketplace, and then at certain point we stop and we ask people, so what is wrong in here? And then people are quite actively involved in this. It makes people understand that sometimes one simple step may prevent a big fight to happen, and it may prevent hundreds of people displaced and hundreds of houses destroyed. It is a very easy way to understand and to pass our message, not to target women and children, not to target civilian infrastructure, the healthcare facilities and schools.
Before me start last time, me got katen, me got coping the way, me got finat katen, me got pig. Now me start right. Now me run well fight go. Me will 10 years lo body blow me start live lo marsan. Me out lo walk, me start walk battle, me start walk. Selagi no gat. One side time, me start was. Me talking more beginning lo put him close lo body blow me. Now me also mamla ligri magi. Me wait mo kaya plate lo narfly stop. Or kivim time me kaya. No gat me sleep nothing.
Different actors in communities have roles they are playing, but they are all isolated. It's not being coordinated. The health people can do trauma healing. The police can do their job. Education divisions, the schools can do peace education. The pastors can preach about peace. So many other things can be done. If all of this can be coordinated, hell can change.
I think it's very important to provide good support to the educational sector. Peacemakers, different programs, different tools, different structures that will help people to find ways without fighting, to solve the problem without fighting, without the war.
As a travel staff yet so, me no not go out na make walking mouse or walking garden or making wala something area. Me basta go na bian tupla birua boom na sikano one bello dislagan me make.